Yo. Samantha. Ava. Kanan Doolin. Annadale Lee. Miss Kaylin.
Huh.
How is everybody doing? Nobody wants to talk to me.
Hey, buddy.
I'm
Hey,
doing
pal.
okay.
Nanny! What's up, girl?
She can't
Nanny,
hear.
did you give yourself a haircut? Oh, she can't hear me. You got your ear things in?
Yeah.
All right. All right, we're gonna run it a little shorter tonight because I don't want the Zoom police to kick me off early again.
Hey, Justin,
What's up?
the pool people came over today,
Yeah.
and they've got it pretty blue.
They
They said we should be swimming by this weekend.
But if you get in it today or tomorrow, it'll burn your skin off because of the chemical.
Yeah, but they said this weekend we'll be able to swim in it. Should be.
Yeah.
Two.
All right.
Hey, Nick.
Up.
Congratulations on the adoption, buddy.
I appreciate it.
He's got 14 years of brotherly beatdowns to get caught up on.
Our pool gets our pool break Saturday.
I know you can't do it.
All right.
When did y'all put up? When we went to the adoption thing at the Family Life Center, there was that like the control things that y'all control the audio and stuff with.
Sound booth?
Yeah. When did y'all
Yeah.
put that up?
A few weeks ago.
Because like we walked in there and I saw it and I was like, that's different.
I did. Well, I didn't build it, but I did some doctoring on the youth room, trying to tidy it up. All right, my dudes. We hope everyone is well. Hey, Cody. So when quarantine is over, are you still gonna let your hair grow out, or are you gonna cut it?
I don't know. What should I do?
I think you just let it go.
That's the
Trevor
move.
calls it a flow. I don't know what you kids call it nowadays.
Let it grow.
I'm gonna let it grow.
Let it grow. Here's
Let
Anna.
it grow, man.
All right. Y'all want to play a game?
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Y'all hate games. I know you do. You hate them.
I'm so
I
excited.
like games.
But let's do it.
I
All
like games.
right. So I have a game, and it's going to require you to do two things. You're going to have to turn your video on,
Oh, okay.
and you are going to have to get up. Right?
I'm already up.
It's an in-home scavenger hunt.
Oh, okay.
Kanan is immediately, he's out. He doesn't want to play.
They kicked me out
All right.
in mid.
So here we go. Let's try it. All right. So I'm gonna try to screen share right now. Screen 2.
Oh my gosh.
Y'all see my babies?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. And all right, do y'all see the our youth thing now?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Sweet. All right, here we go. So it's called Home Hunt. I made none of this. Called Home Hunt. Before you think that I'm technologically inclined, I am not. So easy. Be the first one to find the item in your house and bring it back. So
I mean,
If
open
it's
my
in my
door
room,
first.
then I'll do it.
ready.
Yeah.
Hey, whenever
What
you
is
come
on-
back, just yell, got it. Cody's ready, son. I love
I'm
it.
ready to
I
see
know
what-
I have one.
Wait,
All
it's
right,
stuff
no,
in
that's
here?
not it yet. That's not it yet. All right, here we go.
Dang it. I was so ready.
Oh, okay.
A dictionary.
Do we what?
I don't think my family owns a dictionary.
You got a dictionary, Jack.
Hey, Jake,
I
help me.
found one.
Who's got one?
Where do you have the dictionary? Found one.
Who even has a dictionary anymore?
Anna.
Found one.
Yeah, we have
Found
phones.
one. I don't have a dictionary.
All right.
Found one. Okay, well,
Dang it. Everyone else found one before I got to it.
All right.
same here.
The thing is,
We're
I'm like
playing
in
a
my
game.
room
Go
right
put it
now,
back.
and my room isn't.
Here we
like,
go. All right, Anna. I got
Move, Kennedy. I'm going to have to run past you.
Anna for it. All right, here we go. Next one is a baking pan. A baking pan.
Got it.
Ooh. Oh, you gotta show it to me though. You gotta show it to me.
Rigged.
A baking pan.
Nick, you're in the kitchen. Anna got it again. Nick, you're literally hey.
I feel like I might be at a disadvantage.
I found one.
Baking. That's not a baking pan.
Dude,
Dude.
yes,
That's
it
a pot.
is.
That is
Nick,
a
you were
pot.
6 feet away from that pan, bro. All right,
What?
Cody.
That is a pot.
Huh?
That is not a
Kanan.
pan.
Kanan is at a total disadvantage
I'll put this back.
because his house is like a Harry Potter house where like the
Yeah.
staircases move.
We bake all the time. And
All
my
right.
aunt
This
just
is a
ran
pan.
up, grabbed it.
All right, here we go. Here's another one.
Okay.
Ready? A Disney movie.
Oh, I got it.
I can go
Found
open
one.
Disney Plus.
You gotta show it to me. Oh, Anna's killing it. Gosh.
Got it.
Anna, where is you at?
I don't
Hey,
have
that's
any
awesome.
of those.
Where am I at?
Hey,
I'm just running around my house.
which one is that though?
This is rigged.
Tinkerbell?
Tinkerbell?
I got Santa Claus too. I ran so fast, I knocked all the movies down and everything fell.
All right, here we go.
Too. All right.
Let's do another one.
Yeah.
A sock with a hole.
Oh, we have
I have one of those in my
Go
room.
to Frank's room.
Here we go.
Wait. Got it.
No, you
sock with a
can't. I
hole.
see what you're doing.
Got it. Got it. Got it.
You gotta show it to me.
Hey, my sock's got a hole in it. Hold
Chris,
on.
I just saw you tear that. Hey, but I'll give you credit for it though.
Got
I
it.
just saw you do it, but I'll give you credit for it because I didn't specify.
All my socks got holes in them.
Kennedy wants to watch.
All right, Kennedy. Hey, Kennedy.
Hey, when y'all think about it, every sock's got a hole in it. How do you put your foot in it?
All right, here we go. Are y'all ready for this one?
Yes.
This should be like a bonus. All right, here we go.
Okay. I swear, if this is a roll for toilet paper, we have
A
like
newspaper.
newspaper.
No,
Get a newspaper.
we don't get those.
That's
things.
right. Yeah.
Oh,
Kanan, this is all you. You know your mom has a newspaper somewhere. Hey, you got a newspaper?
wait.
No, it's not a newspaper.
Is it a magazine?
I found one.
Oh, that's
Blow
your homework.
rips.
Show it to me.
Found one. I found. Hey, but
I forgot I have one in my room.
I get Cody got that one.
Uh,
I can see.
I don't think you can see it. Yeah, I can hear you.
Kennedy, be quiet. I'm trying to
Yeah, you can hear
concentrate.
me.
This is serious.
All right, here we go.
I don't know. I like ran to.
Let's do.
I asked Justin who to hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, making sure.
Dad, you're in the camera.
A framed photo.
A framed photo.
Got it.
Oh, give me a framed photo.
I have it.
Got Brayden.
Who said?
It might. The picture is
got
on the
Brayden.
outside of the
That
frame,
one.
but it's still framed.
I got you.
It's me,
Yeah,
Stone, and
framed photo.
Mr. Ricky.
Framed photo.
All right.
We have like 50 of those.
Let's do one. No, let's do two more.
Got this.
Was this made after the quarantine? Because I feel like the hand sanitizer
Yeah, I got
and
it.
the.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
I put some of these in here.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I'm balancing on the dumbbell.
All right, here we go. You ready?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. What is it? That. Bacon.
Who's got it?
I need bacon.
Got
Who's
it.
bringing the bacon?
Bacon.
I see it.
I didn't even hear you. I didn't even.
Justin,
No,
it's
why isn't it
time.
cooked?
We don't
We
have
had
any
cooked
bacon.
Oh, that's a
There
shame
is no
though.
bacon.
I think somebody else found it, so I'm not gonna worry about
All
it.
right, here we go.
Hey, Dad, do you need the bacon?
What
Yeah.
about bacon bits?
Somebody else found it.
Too late.
All right, let's do last one. Oh, somebody. Anna got kicked. All right. Let me see.
Why are you in my bed?
I'm
Let me
busy.
see.
Did you say this is fine?
All right, I'm interested. Here we go. A funny mug. A mug is I'll accept cup, coffee cup.
That one.
The funny,
Funny one.
what is it though? What's the funniest
That one.
one? That one's got a duck on it.
Mine is not
A
funny.
Christmas teddy
Animal
bear.
humor.
Coffee. That's what mine says. Mine says Mama needs coffee.
I thought you
Mama
said
needs
you'd
some
accept
coffee. All right, that's
stuff.
pretty funny. I'll take
Mine
that.
has my
Yeah, it
favorite
is.
childhood celebrity on it.
Wait, let me see. Hold on.
Oh, God.
Diego.
Diego,
Yes,
Jake,
Diego was my king.
That's
Jake.
I
okay.
wanted to be him.
This
Kennedy,
is
can you return this?
Does this work?
All right.
And just stay out because
What's
I
up,
don't
man?
like running anymore.
So, do you think Mama needs coffee or Diego wins?
Diego needs it. Diego deserves everything.
Let me see him again.
Mama needs coffee or Diego?
Hang on. Kennedy ran away with Diego. Well, give me back Diego. Shouldn't have put him in your unworthy hands anyways.
All right, last one.
Diego.
I say Diego.
All right. I give points to both. All right, here we go.
I got points.
Last one.
Last one. Let's do this.
Last one.
No, that's not.
No, I didn't want to do that one.
We,
Why did
yeah,
that? My
we
bad.
did that one.
I don't know why it did that to me. Hold on. Dang. Hold on. I'm sorry. You know, something always
Thou
has to
shalt
get,
not try me.
something
Mom,
always has to get
24/7.
messed up. All right. So right now, the score is Annadale 3. Right. Nick has 1. Cody has 3. Kaylin has 2. Right. Okay. Come on. All right, here we go. Let's do this one. Might have to do a tiebreaker. A bottle of ketchup.
Got it. Hold on.
Who's got? Oh, Anna's killing it. Goodness gracious.
Got it.
All right.
Ketchup.
Anna's cheating. She's got everything set out.
Anna got it. I see it. Good job, Kaylin. Anna's so fast. All right, here we go. Hey, so
like my living room, kitchen, and
Ow, that
dining room is like all connected.
You have
Like
you,
running
It has a bottle of ketchup laying around.
Mine is the opposite.
in my fridge. Yeah.
you have
Second,
an
I got the
open
ketchup.
open concept. All right. Hey, so here's something that I tried to do last week, but
I'm taking the last one.
it we had trouble. So I'm gonna try to bring this up real quick. All right. What do y'all see?
A folder
Bunch of
that has a bunch of images in it, like
Alright, I don't
Stonehenge
want you to
and
see that.
warnings. All right.
All right, I want you to see. You see this guy?
Mm-hmm.
Jason
Hey.
Moncrief.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I thought it'd be cool if we switched it up and play a video. I mean, I know it's weird to sing in your home, but if you are uncomfortable with that, then just whatever, contemplate on the lyrics. But if you do like to sing, then I welcome you to do that. If you're embarrassed, you can always hit the unmute. So anyway, it's just a few minutes long. So let's listen to this. I thought this would be interesting, changing gears. So here we go. Hope this does right. Y'all don't hear anything, do you?
No.
Dang. All right, never mind. I don't know why it's not working. All right, so change of plans. I will just put that on I'll put that up online like I did last week. Anyway, so it'll be up on the YouTube, it'll be up on the Facebook if you want to go check it out. All right. So let's just jump right in. Hey, we're going to be in Romans chapter 1, and I want to start at verse 16 where we were last week, just for a little bit of context. So Romans chapter 1, starting at verse 16. If you have a Bible, you can turn there. And while you turn, I want to show you this thing. Maybe. All right. Play. All right. It's just going to take a second. All right. You guys see this? Cody's giving me a thumbs up. Y'all know what this is?
Stonehenge.
Stonehenge. All right. Why do people travel all over the world to come see this?
Because it's bizarre.
It is. It's in Britain, right? It is
I'm not
bizarre.
sure.
And the reason is because people, a lot of people, like conspiracy folks, they think that aliens did this because some of those stones are, and here's another picture you can see a little more about what's going on. A lot of these stones, some of them are like 30 feet tall and they weigh 25 tons. And so, people are like, how did a human being do this, right? It's so heavy. There's a lot of people speculate over whether it was even possible for man to do this. So some people think it was like aliens or this and that. But here's the thing. How many of you think that Stonehenge just happened? Like it's a natural phenomenon that nature caused? Nobody, right? That doesn't make any sense because there's no way that just nature would be able to produce something like that. It's obvious that somebody made those, right? Somebody cut those stones in that shape, and somebody stacked those stones like that. Somebody put those stones in a circle. They don't know what it is. They think maybe people used it as like a religious thing. Some think it was some kind of a clock, a sundial, or something like that. But regardless, we know that there's no way that just happened. We know that somebody made that, right? There's intelligent design behind that. And so with that idea, I want to read you because those are the kind of people that Paul is writing to. People that, well, I don't want to jump the gun. So in Romans chapter 1, starting in verse 16, Paul says, "For I'm not ashamed of the gospel, because it is the power of God that brings salvation to everyone who believes, first the Jew and then to the Gentile. For in the gospel, the righteousness of God is revealed, a righteousness that is by faith from first to last, just as it is written, the righteous shall live by faith." So I want you to focus on that when he says the righteous will live by faith. So then he says in verse 18, "The wrath of God is being revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and wickedness of people who suppress the truth by their wickedness, since what may be known about God is plain to them. For since the creation of the world, God's invisible qualities, his eternal power and divine nature have been clearly seen, being understood from what has been made, so that people are without excuse." Then it says in verse 21, "For although they knew God, they neither glorified him as God nor gave thanks to him, but their thinking became futile and their foolish hearts were darkened. Although they claimed to be wise, they became fools and exchanged the glory of the immortal God for images made to look like a mortal human being, and birds and animals and reptiles." Now, the reason I showed you Stonehenge was because no one believes that Stonehenge just happened by natural phenomena, right? They know that there was some kind of human intelligent design behind it. But did you know that there are people walking the earth today that they claim that even though you can look around at nature and you can look around at the earth and see the order and the design, they believe that the earth was a natural phenomenon, right? Doesn't make any sense. And to be honest with you, I've talked to a lot of people who claim to be atheists, and the ones that were hardcore, because I found that it wasn't hard to in atheist, if you break down the word, it literally means without God, right? Theism. So without God, they believe that there is no God. And I found that it's not really that difficult to get someone to move from atheism to agnostic, which that not in gnosis means wisdom or knowledge. And so so atheism is somebody that says there is no God. Agnosticism says that there is a God, there is a supreme being, but we can't know him, right, personally. And I found that it's not hard to bring somebody from atheism to agnosticism, but the vast majority of atheists that I have talked to that want to stay there, the reason for that is because they don't want to believe in a God, because they don't want to be held accountable to a God. And so here's the thing. We are dealing today with the same stuff, right, that Paul was dealing with, when he wrote this 2,000 years ago, that there are these people who they suppress the truth for a lie, right? Because in God's just like Stonehenge, just like, my wife's been working me like a slave in our flower bed. And if you rolled up on our flower bed right now, you would see like somewhat fresh mulch. You would see these bushes planted in rows. And yes, they're in rows because I planted one that was out of line. I dug that sucker up, Jake, and I stuck it right back in line. And so when you see that, nobody in their right mind is going to think, man, look at how those trees just started growing right in a line like that. No weeds in there, man. That flower bed's awesome. No, they're gonna know that we've been out there working, right? If you look at, Jake did his. You go past somebody that just freshly cut their yard and weed eated their driveway. Anybody in any sense is gonna know the yard just doesn't grow like that. It doesn't happen in nature. But when they look around at creation and they see the order they see the design, they turn around and they think, oh, look at this, how this just happened. Isn't that wonderful? And so what that is a suppression of the truth. Because if there's a garden, there has to be a gardener. If there's a painting, there has to be a painter. If there's music, there has to be a musician. In the same way, if there is a creation, then there has to be a creator. And so God's nature, verse 20 says, his nature is seen through creation, his invisible qualities. We know that he's orderly, right? We know that he provides just from, the earth giving us what we need. And it says that it has been clearly seen, being understood from what has been made. And here's the thing, so that they are without excuse. So none of us can say, well, there is no God. I don't believe in God because there's no evidence of God. Now, has God ever shown up and knocked at our door? No. But have we seen evidence of him? Absolutely. Right. If you go into my house and you see all my stuff laying around that makes my wife so mad, you know that I've been there because my stuff is there. Then it's the same way with creation. I mean, we know there's a God because all we have to do is just look around. But anyway, these people, they suppress the truth. And so there's just 3 very quick things that I want to point out before the Zoom police kick us off, right? 3 very quick things that we need to do that these people didn't, right? The first is to acknowledge the truth. Acknowledge the truth. I really don't have time to be messing around with these slides I made, but I just want to show you this. All right. So I brought up some, let's see. Is it going to go? Smack. All right. If I asked you what kind of sign that was, it's a warning sign, right? So I looked up some funny ones. Thought this one was pretty funny. People actually have to put on a, what's that called? A straightener. That you can't use it on your eyelashes. Oh my gosh, man. And the reason they put that on there is because there's been somebody that tried to sue that company because they tried to use it to do whatever to their eyelashes. This is my favorite one. Do not touch. Not only will this kill you, if that wasn't enough, it will hurt the whole time you're dying, right? And the reason that people have to put that is because there have actually been people that, you put the sign up and say, don't do this. And then they do it anyway, right? And so, anyway, and so first of all, we have to acknowledge, right, that there is a God, right? We have to acknowledge that there's something more than us, right? There's something that's, beyond us, that we are not, God in our life, that we are not the ones that are running the show. And I'm really trying to, you guys can't see me. You still see the warning sign, right? Or do you see me? Annadale, shake your head at me. Do you see me? Okay.
We see you.
You see me? All right. So you never saw the signs then?
But we never saw the signs. Yeah, we saw you, but we never saw the signs.
Dang. Whatever. All right. Anyway, so we have warning signs all over the place in your car, right? If the oil light comes on, then hey, I need to do something about this. Or if the gas light comes on, there's an issue that needs to be dealt with. And so in the same way, we know there's a God because of creation, and we can know who God is because we have his word. We have scripture, and scripture gives us instructions. It gives us warnings. I put a ceiling fan up in my bedroom yesterday, and it took me 3 times as long as it should have because it came with instructions, but I didn't read them, right? And so I had to take it down and do it all over again, and then halfway undo what I did then and finish it, right? Because I didn't read the instructions. And so we have to acknowledge that we're not the ones that are in control. We have to acknowledge that God is in control and that there is truth, right? And here's the thing. If there's truth and there's instruction, then just like anywhere in life, there are consequences for disobedience. I know we don't like to talk about it, but here's the thing. In verse 18 says, the wrath of God is being revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and wickedness of people. And we'll talk about that in the weeks to come. Because here's the thing, for all disobedience, right, there's consequences, just like every other area in life. And so for our rebellion, there are repercussions for that. And so we have to acknowledge God, right? We have to acknowledge his instructions, right? We have to acknowledge that he is the one that's in control. So we have to acknowledge the truth. And the second thing is we have to accept the truth, because it's one thing for have to like mental assent that, okay, I believe there's a God, and there has to be change in our life, right? We have to take that and just accept it. And so I just thought about this. We don't sacrifice the truth on behalf of our truth or my truth, because that's the thing, right? Follow your truth or speak your truth. Like, truth is subjective, like a subjective thing. Like, there is no absolute truth. And so I just was reading around online, and and one of the things they talk about following your truth as a piece of advice is to create what feels real to you and bring meaning into your life, right? If you follow your heart and you follow your truth, whatever feels good to you, whatever feels right to you, then it's going to be right. And another piece of advice, man, this sounds so great. We are like the mighty rivers for health and realization of our higher potential. Our whole soul experience needs to flow freely and uninhibited. And so basically what they're saying is, hey, live however you want to live, right? If it feels good, do it. Man, that's so dumb. That's so stupid, right? Because you're setting yourself up for a world of hurt and pain if you live like that, if you accept your truth. But here's the thing, we have to accept that there's the truth, right? That there's one true, absolute truth. It's not about your feelings, or it's not about your opinions. I listen to this guy, Jake will know who I'm talking about, and one of his things is facts don't care about your feelings, right? And it's the same like, God's absolute truth. That's something we either have to accept or reject. When we reject it, like we talked about, there's punishment, there's wrath for that. God doesn't want that for us, right? Or Jesus wouldn't have come and given his life for us. So we have to acknowledge that there is the truth, and we have to accept that truth, in which that means trading our opinion, trading our way for his way. And so acknowledge the truth, accept the truth, and the last thing is apply the truth. And so it's one thing to just see creation and know there's a God. It's another thing to say, okay, hey, I believe in God. I think there's a God. You get God in your head, or even in your heart, but there has to be something else. There has to be evidence. We talk about the head, we talk about the heart, and to apply the truth, that involves the hands, that involves action, right? Because it says that these guys, they knew God, though they knew the God, they neither glorified him nor gave thanks to him. And so they had repercussions. Their thinking became futile. Their foolish hearts were darkened, right? They became foolish, and that's how they lived their life. They exchanged the glory of the immortal God for images made look like mortal human beings and birds and reptiles. They quit worshiping God, but they weren't worshiping God, but they were worshiping themselves. And so the first thing that we need to do to apply the truth in our life is to glorify God and give thanks to him, right? And in doing this, and when we read and study his scripture, then we won't be foolish and futile, right? We'll be wise and discerning and fruitful. And so I am running out of time. And so I just want to give you just three things, right? What can we do today to, acknowledge, accept, and apply the truth of God to our life, right? The first thing that we can do to glorify and give thanks is and this is something I'm going to try to start doing my own self. I was thinking about it today, and so we can, as soon as we get out of bed, right, before our feet hit the floor, we can thank God that he got us up, We can thank God that he gave us another day, right? Because we have no control over whether we wake up in the morning or not. It's every day is a gift from God, right? Every day that we have breath that fills our lungs, it's a gift from God. And so before our feet ever hit the floor, we can thank God that he's blessed us and we with another day. And I think what that'll do is it'll get our mind in right perspective, that that God is the one that's in control and not us. And so give thanks to him, accept his control and his plan and his will for our life, right? And I think for us to heed his instruction, for us to be wise and discerning. Listen, there's no quick fix, there's no hydroxycut, there's no fad diet, no smoothie or crash, whatever, to speed the process of holiness and sanctification up, right? It comes through prayer and reading the word and living it. And so I thought one thing we can do this together, is start small, right? Like it's April 29th. So before you go to bed, read Proverbs 29. And tomorrow, read Proverbs 30. And then pray through whatever chapter of Proverbs you're reading. Whatever the date is, read that proverb for the day. It shouldn't take you 4 or 5 minutes to do it. But what we're doing is we're reading the Bible and we're praying. And what we want to do is saturate our minds, right? Let it get into our hearts so we start to love the things that God loves. And then that way our hands will be affected and we'll live for him, right? So just summary, we're done. Acknowledge the truth. There is a God. Accept the truth that he has a will for us. He has a plan for us, that he's the one in control, and apply it to our life, right? The head, the heart, the hands. We're not okay. And that's it. That's all I got. I'm just now seeing everybody's messages saying you don't see my warnings. Sorry. I thought I did everything like I was supposed to. Let me see. You see it?
Yeah, we can see them now.
There it is. There's the eyelash one I was trying to tell you about. Ladies,
Don't curl your eyelashes.
Nick, don't do it.
Hey, I don't use it.
This is my favorite one though.
Sorry,
Like-
this is my videos off.
It won't kill you. It'll kill you, but even worse than
I'm
that,
screenshotting that one.
it'll hurt while you're gone. So, all right. That's all
I'm
I
like
got.
one of those people. I'm like one of those white trash people on Snapchat that tries to flash their whole $10
Oh,
while blaring rap music in the back.
I have this, but the drink machine wouldn't take it. So I think, hey girl, you got your stuffed animal. Are you eating your puppy? That's my little girl. That's that crazy lady that lives with you.
Yeah.
What's up, Pop? All right, that's it and that's all. I don't have anything else. So, scavenger hunt. Do y'all like the scavenger
I'll
hunt?
be sure to check out my new
I like
Instagram account.
I think
It's
the
not
scavenger hunt,
essentially
get away from me.
essential.
I think the scavenger hunt was good.
Who has
I
an
think
Instagram
next time
account?
you need to make them have their phone
Wait, so what are y'all's names?
stationary and they have to run and go grab it. Some
That's a
people
good
run around
rule.
with their phone.
That's good. Cody opened his door like he was ready.
Harry Potter one.
I was ready.
You connect it to your iPad and cast spells.
Jake needs to cut your credit card up.
What did it say?
Hey, so I need to cut your credit card up. That's what
All
I told her.
Somehow
I said,
all
this is
the
why we
things
can
that
never be
you were
rich.
asking for
That's
were
right.
like
Just spend it
all
on
in
money.
my kitchen, dining room, and living room area.
Yeah.
That's
right.
all like, connected. So
Anna, you won.
Can I
So
buy
I
one for
got
10?
2 bags coming
what
your
do I
way.
get?
That's not really hard.
I'm about
I can make the video go on.
to lose you. Just want 8 seconds. Just want to let you guys know
Yeah,
I
don't
love
do
you.
This is
I miss you. Most of you. No, I'm just kidding. And we'll see each other again
Let me
soon.
show you what you really should be jealous of right
All
now.
right.
It is a virtual Ping pong set.
What?
Where are you getting this
Wait,
stuff?
$5.
This is where my life is.
no. Jake,
If you play in the dark,
Jake.
look at this.
Jake, you
Somebody
need to
come
go.
save me.
Hey, my pastoral counsel.